What's going on, guys? Here I am back with part 3 of the draft prediction video, of my draft prediction video. Guys, first I want to say I know I have forgot a few names. I know I messed up a few slides. That is my mistakes, rookie mistakes. Like I said, we live and we learn. So I'm trying to get better at this, but I appreciate you guys like pointing it out. As y'all know, most of the people that I forgot is nothing against y'all, bro. I literally just fucking left it out, bro. And like I said, for that last video, that slide on the Magic was supposed to be their 6-man slide. And I activated the wrong slide because all I've been doing is hiding and unhiding slides as we go. So because all the picks are in different orders. But yeah, we're going to start off this third round. This is the round that, stuff, it kind of gets a little different. Like, in the past, last year, you've seen in the end of the third, fourth round, people started picking retained player or unretained players because they know what it's like to be in the league. They can be a trustworthy, fifth, sixth option. It gets to a point. This is where it gets scary for some of those new guys if they're not gone before. So we're going to start this off right, and we are going to go into Pistons GT first. We already know the roster and we know who they picked first round. It's hard to, this is a hard one I don't know, because I don't know what's going to go on. I feel like they have two centers and I feel like they have two guards. And then, like I said, I think they picked Moon first to play point guard for them, because I don't think JT or Dev's going to be the main ball handler. I think they'll both, subside from each other and want to go lock. Just to be safe, though, I believe they would go ahead and pick a lock here, and they would go with Big Saint. Saint is a guy that's kind of came up into the scene this year. He's played his role pretty well over there on Xbox. Ramo and JT are all, they all know of him. They've played against him, played with him, whatever the scenario may be. But I believe he's just a good pick here in the third round, to give a guy a chance that's working his ass off to get into the league, give him the opportunity to step into the spotlight, make some plays for them. He's playing alongside 3 vets, 4 if you count Moon. Joseph been in the league now for 3 years, so I believe it's just a good option give a guy like Big Saint that someone else might not give the shot to, but if they give him the shot to go ahead and play their lockdown or 4 role, whichever one they would maybe want. This is going to be a shorter video too, by the way, guys. There's not as many teams here in this third round picking. So for Lakers Gaming, we know the roster and we know their first 2 picks as well. So right now we're looking at BOK, B Rich at lock, Kev, Vert, and Moody. Here I believe they go ahead and go another lock and they take Shake. Shake is just a guy that's on PS4 that is familiar with all these other guys. And if B Rich doesn't perhaps work out at lockdown, or if BOK is not working at guard and B Rich goes to lock or point guard, either way it comes around, you have a 6-man, no matter who it is on this team, that can play a role. I think Shake is a very humble guy. It's a guy that came around this year, and I believe he deserves to be drafted. It's just a matter of where and who will do it. I think this is a good fit in him with him. He will fit right in with these guys, Moody, Vert, Kev, BOK, and B Rich, guys that are humble, just want to get at it and get working, because, the Lakers, they had a letdown season last year, and these guys need to show why they were drafted in the first round or why they were traded for, different things like that. And I believe these are good picks for these guys to start off their team with, and this would be their last pick of the draft. Next, we have Grizz. Next, we have Grizz Gaming for their first pick of the draft. We have Vandy, Goofy, Authentic African, and D-Double. So really, I think they need a shooting guard. This guy right here, I wanted to send him earlier to the Mavs in last round, but I went ahead and put 1 through 5 there because I think 1 through 5 just brings more to the team. But this guy right here definitely could have went there, and I believe he's a steal here for Grizz Gaming, and that is Sleety. Sleety's is a guy that could play the 2 or 4, depending on what Authentic African wants to play, shooting guard or power forward. He is a guy that is very agile on defense. He's always in the passive lanes. He sometimes overthinks it and tries to do too much instead of just standing still. He's a little crackhead, is what we call him. But it's a guy, he's a knockdown shooter. He's on the likes of ZDS, It's a guy that could really take this league by storm on a sharp roll, and I believe it could really help Grizz Gaming finish off their team. Next, we have Hawks Talon GC, BP Styles, Mr. Slaughter in the first round, AJ in the second. And here they go with a guy that he's just a stone cold scorer, bro. You know, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's from the area as well, and I believe he could play either the 2 or 4, or AJ can do the same thing, the 2 or the 4, the shooting guard, power forward positions. And I believe that is Kelmath. Kelmath is a dude, you know, I think him and BP could complement each other pretty well because they both can score pretty well. But like I said, Kelmath can also go and play the forward role and play a power forward with a shooter or something like that, make plays out of there. It's a guy, you know, he was traded last year, and I don't really know how it ended up in Memphis for him, if like they got along, but like I assume him not getting retained there, that Memphis wouldn't take him the pick before this. So, you know, and that, like I said, this is all my opinions, but I think Kelmath here helps BP get open a lot more, playing like a shooting guard role, and AJ playing the power forward. Next, we have Sixers GC with their first pick of the draft. Obviously, they're already starting out with the big 4, Radiant Steez, Bread, and ZDS. You know, they need a lock. And there's only one lock that I can really think that can really make a difference in the league right now left, and that would be Randoms. Random's the PS4 lock who's really came onto the scene this year, and you know he played some last year, but you know he really has stepped his game up this year, and people really know who he is from playing pickups all the time. You know, putting his name out there on Twitter, doing different things, winning games in tournaments, winning games in leagues, different things like that. And Random's is a guy I think could fit in here because he's a humble dude. He doesn't really need to do a lot. He'll go and just play defense for you for the whole game, and that's what I think a team like Sixers need when they already have options like Radiant and ZDS. Randoms, Bread, and Steez, like corner, pick and roll, whatever you want to say, defense would really go crazy in the league, I feel like. Next, we have Hornets Venom GT. Type, and obviously they pick Duck, Crush, and Snub. This next pick that I put him here because I still had him. I don't think teams will let him slide this here, but if he does get here, bro, this would be the best team, or if not one of the best teams in the league. You know, yeah, they're going to have 4 young dudes that are just stepping into the league for the first year, but I went ahead and put Juan here. Juan has chemistry with all 4 of the other 3 draft picks. So I think it would just be a perfect scenario for Juan. And I hope something like this does happen for these guys because, like I said, all these dudes are my guys. But, you know, I think Juan will go before. I think Juan are at least a second-round pick. But, you know, like I also said before, power forward and center, besides centers, power forward is kind of a hard place to judge, man. And, you know, this could be the position that falls down the most out of anybody, I feel like. And Juan is just a great power forward, you know, and that being said, you know, if he falls there, that team instantly becomes contenders in my eyes. Here we have Heat Check Gaming, you know, Hot Shot, Glenn and Charger, Expose them, and No Days Off BK. Here, you know, I feel like that's a good 5 right there, but you kind of still want to have a dude that can at least come in and compete. And for that, I say they take Grizz. Grizz, you know, if Charger could go play lock, or Grizz on a shooter, or something, you know, something along those lines, where just somebody is not afraid to shoot some shots and not afraid to just be active on defense. He's a cool dude to be around. You know, I know Famous and him get along. You know, everybody likes Grizz. No one has a problem with Grizz. And I feel like him going to Heat Check Gaming just fills out their roster completely. Another guy that might not fall down this far, but I could also see him falling down this far as he's only played like a power forward role in the league. Next, we have Nets Gaming Crew with Wavy, Rando, and Shuttles. I said they picked Chalk, and they picked Lee as their first 2 picks. And here's a 6-man I think to get a steal of a draft in my eyes, because I don't think people are going to pick him higher. They definitely could take him a lot higher than it is, but I don't know for sure if he will get in. But here, if they fall here, bro, it really opens up the question: is Wavy going to be their starting point guard if a dude like this falls here? And that's with them going with Killy. Killy is obviously a New York guy. You know, he's been to their events. He's liked by those guys, and Chalk knows him. You know, Rando, Shuttles, everybody knows Killy. And Killy's really competed over these last couple months in Pro-Am. He's won some things finally. He broke the curse. You know, just for instance, you know, him and Keena going back and forth at each other. You know, it's a good thing to see things like that because Keena's one of the better point guards in the league at the moment. And if Killy can step it up in retail and if he can transfer it over to the league build, I think Killy could be really dangerous going into the league. As long as he works on his passing skills. That would be the biggest thing. Because he can score, he can shoot. He just got to work on his passing skills. Next, we have WizDG, obviously Dave Reese, Reg, Tuck, and Great Gilly. Here, I just think they take a humble guy that would be a great 6-man and also could work in as a power forward center as needed. You know, he's a guy that, you know, has worked his ass off for the league, and he's been turned down a couple times. And just a fun dude. He's always been supportive. You know, Dave Fry's always gotten along with him. Just think it's a real cool dude to bring back onto a roster, or come onto a roster, I should say. And that would be Drizzard. If you know Drizz is one of the most humble guys there is. You know, he will play his role. If he has to sit on the 6-man and do stats, he would do that because he wants to be a part of the league. He wants to be in the league. And I think that's something that WizDG really needs to hold down with this last pick. Not to pick someone that wants to be overly aggressive for the spot, to push, yeah, but Drizz is a guy that can push, say, Gilly, for instance, or say Dayfry, for instance, you know, push them to be better every day and not be complaining if he's not the one playing. I just think it's an all-around great selection for them and a great teammate. Next, we have Raptors Uprising. Sick Kenny, Tomley, Reese, and King Quay. And here I think they go ahead and, you know, Kenny and Tomley back together, so why not go ahead and draft the first brother duo in the league, and Sick goes ahead and gets his brother Legit. You know, I don't know too much about Legit. I just know that as the last man of the six team, or is the sixth man of the Raptors, I think Sick, you know, he's going to have a good, like, they have a good enough confidence in him to, you know, trust that Sick can say that he can play. And he might not even need to play with King Quay, Sick, Tomley, Reese, and Kenny, but it's a guy that they'll be able to like in the locker room, like in living with, different things like that. And it also, it opens up to a thing as, you know, we know Raptors is a great content team, content-oriented team. You know, they have fire content, some of the best in the league. And here you go, you bring in the first brother duo into the league, and I really think that just opens up so many different, you know, alternatives for them. Even if Legit's not playing at all, imagine the content that he is going to bring. Oh, like recording his brother or doing the shit with his brother. I just think it's a great thing for Raptors to go in and invest into. Next, we have Bucks Gaming. And Bucks Gaming, A-Rooks, and Plondo. And I said they take Splash and they take Truth. And here I believe they go ahead and give Slay Island another chance. There's not a lot of locks left at this point during the draft. There's some of them from Xbox that I don't know too much about, but guys that, you know, Slay, he obviously had a up and down year last year, but I think Slay is a better lock than he is like a point guard or a guard. That Bucks team last year just wasn't really built well. If you remember my draft board from them from the beginning, it just wasn't really built well in my eyes. So here you bring on a guy like Slay he already has A-Rooks and Splash, so he doesn't have to worry about any ball handling duties. He's got to go in, lock in, and play defense with Plondo, who he has chemistry with in the past. I just believe it starts out to be a great team-oriented vibe right here, because they got a dude that's going to play lock fully, power forward fully, and then he's got two guards and one of the better centers in the league. And I think Bucks Gaming becomes a dangerous team at this point. And the last pick of this round is going to be Grizz Gaming. And like I said, Vandy, Goofy, Authentic African, and D-Double. And they already picked Sleeties. Right here, this is kind of like a shot in the dark, honestly, I feel like. This is where I was telling you it starts getting a little dark for new players, because if you're not drafted by here, like, people don't know if they can trust you. People don't know if you're going to do what you can, compared to where a guy that's been retained in the league, that he's done it or he's competed at the level already that they know that he can do it. So here I go ahead and think they take Speedbrook. Speedbrook is just another shooting guard or power forward, and he's also played point guard this year. Obviously they wouldn't need him for Vandy to play point guard, but a dude that can shoot the ball, that'll play his role. And you know, he does some dumb shit, he's a little crackhead sometimes, but you know, he's a dude that wants to compete and wants to get back out there. You know, you see Fab pushing him all the time, praising him. You know, Speeds went from a power forward to a shooting guard to a point guard this year. So he's obviously getting better in multiple positions. So why not give the dude a chance to come in and make your team better, even if it's as a six-man role and he's just going to hang out with you and like vibe good with you, you know? And I believe, yep, that is the last round, last pick of the round. Like I said, guys, like I was just saying, bro, after you watch this, bro, you know, you can see like more retained, but like there's not a lot of beef left into the pool. You know, this is where teams are going to start. I think it might be like 19 more picks or something like that. I can't remember exactly. 18, but you know, this is where teams are going to start taking their chances and either saying no, we don't want to draft you, or for instance, they're going to bring back the Nachos in the league, the Tucker Locks Up, different people like that who have competed in the league, shown that they can be a great six man. You know, that they trust on their team to not break it apart from within. So for my, you know, just advice on y'all is to, you know, like I said in the last video, put yourself out there, let them know that, hey, you're not the cocky individual, you're not arrogant, you're not gonna like hate being a sixth man, but you're also not gonna like not playing, I should say. So you're always gonna push that guy that's ahead of you and work for his job more than you can, as most as you can. Guys, this is the third round. We have one more round up, and I would really appreciate if this video gets 100 likes on it as well. Y'all guys are doing great videos. Shout out to Famous. All the retweets on Twitter. All the likes on Twitter, all the likes on this video, the comments. I know I've messed up some of the draft boards, as far as like names and stuff that I forgot. But I really do believe that you guys can highly see where I'm going with these things and why people would do that. And I like to be that guy that can bring like an insider knowledge of it, a different aspect as like a player instead of someone that's just creating content because they want to try and create content. You might not like my picks and you might not like me, bro, but at the end of the day, if you're not on this board, it's either you haven't even showed me enough to where I can acknowledge that you should be on here, or, you're not putting yourself out there enough. And at the end of the day, I'm not the one that's going to get you drafted. It's all on yourself. This draft board means nothing. This is for pure content and used in the community for you guys. So don't blame me not putting it on these draft boards. Blame yourself for not getting yourself out there. At the end of the day, guys, like I said, this is my opinions. Hold me to the standard that you want. Say whatever it is to me. No coach, no player has any influence on these at all. I do appreciate you guys tuning into these. I hope you like them. Drop some comments below. Hit that sub button. Like I said, 100 likes, and I'll drop number 4, baby. I'll drop the last round, and then we'll go right into overrated teams, underrated teams in my eyes. So there we go, and we are out of here.